Hey there, I am so excited to flip through probably the most anticipated novel study that we have done so far, and it is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So, my 11-year-old is a huge Harry Potter nerd. So, he was pumped when he learned that we did a mid level novel study of Harry Potter. And what I mean by mid level is grades 4 through 8. And of course, being homeschoolers, right? You can wiggle this whatever way you want. So if you have some younger kids that you would like to still use this with, absolutely feel free. And especially those of you who have those 4th through 8th graders that have those younger kids, they can totally be a part of it and just kind of get out of it whatever they get out of it. So I'm going to show you inside this curriculum. I am going to show you exactly what is included and all that fun stuff. So first thing I want to talk about is our novel studies in general. So a lot of times when you get novel studies, you're going to get a guide that may ask you some comprehension questions to go along with the book. That is not what you're going to get with our novel studies. While there certainly are things to discuss about what happens in the book, our novel studies are language arts curriculum. So there will be a lesson inside of here. Every single lesson will include some type of language arts, and it is still going to teach those aspects inside of the novel study. So when people see that a novel study like this, that is a full curriculum, it will take you a whole year to get through, even though you're only reading one novel. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't still be including other novels in your homeschool. I know my son reads 2 different novels a day for 6th grade. Not a whole novel, of course, but different bits and pieces. He has to read like so many minutes per novel to go with our history and our science, and also just like an extra book that I have picked out for him. So he's reading much, much more than just the novel that we're doing in our novel study. So, and you can absolutely choose if you're wanting to do more of a novel study versus a language arts. If you're wanting to go through it faster, you have that freedom inside of Rabbit Trails. And you'll see what I mean as we go through the lessons. So I do want to run through what language arts lessons are a part of this curriculum. So you're going to have fiction and nonfiction, internal and external conflict, personification, dialect and accents, foreshadowing, effective punctuation, dramas, mystery, protagonist and antagonist, regulations and rules, descriptive writing, biographies, transitive and intransitive verbs, folklore and myths, the Freytag pyramid, and good versus evil. So there is so much you're going to unpack inside of this novel study, and it's really, really exciting to tie all of that into language arts to where probably your kids don't even realize they're learning about language arts because of how well this all flows inside of the book. So I do have a book. So when we have our novel study, I'll show you here. When we have our novel study, we have, oops, that's the journal. We have a picture of the main books that you would need inside of the curriculum. My pages are sticking together. And so in this one, you're going to see, I actually suggest here the illustrated book, and I have a copy of that here. So this amazing illustrated book. Oh my goodness. If you have not seen these books illustrated by Jim Kay, they are J.K. Rowling's books, right? Every word is there, but Jim Kay added amazing illustrations to go with them. And I have the cover on backwards, of course. Such good illustrations inside of here. Let me find you another really good example. My favorite, oh, here's a good one of Harry Potter. I should have bookmarked it. There's a really good one of Diagon Alley that I really love. It's so beautiful. Let me see if I can easily flip to it. If not, I'll just show you a couple other ones. Oh, here's a really spooky, fun picture. Oh my goodness. His illustrations are just absolutely amazing. They blow me away. And so this was, oh, here's the one. How cool is that? Oh, I love it. So my son was actually really intimidated to get into the Harry Potter series because of how thick, like especially those last couple of books are. And so getting the illustrated books was his way of kind of like getting into that and getting into those thicker books that intimidated him just a little bit. And now he's like a crazy reader and goes through books way faster than I ever could imagine. So you can absolutely, though, still just use the regular novel. Don't feel like you have to get the illustrated version. This is from my library. So get what you can get. Don't worry about buying the illustrated version. I will say it is cheapest. Obviously, if you can find it used, that's gonna be cheapest. It is much, much cheaper on Amazon than it is buying it like Barnes & Noble or places like that. Because that almost kept me from getting it for him, because at Barnes & Noble it was like 40 something dollars. It was only like 23 or something on Amazon. So anyway, get what you can get. If you want to get yourself a library copy, or yourself a soft cover, hardcover, whatever it is of the regular novel without illustrations, or if you want to splurge and get that Jim K illustrated version, use whatever you can get your hands on. Okay, so let's dig into the curriculum. So first of all, let me go back to this beautiful cover, because once again, very special to me is my son made the illustrations to go on the cover, and it makes me so happy. Like, he's able just to take what I'm imagining and just put it to life, and it just makes me so happy. So yeah, so there's that. Okay, so inside of the lessons, just like any of our other rabbit trails, if you're new to it, you'll see the layout here. If you know rabbit trails, you know this part of it. So every single lesson's going to come with that language arts lesson. That's what you're going to see first. It's going to tell you what chapters to read, and it's going to give you that language arts lesson inside of this part here. And what I really love is it really has you go back to the book and has you discuss it as a family. Sometimes it'll have you write things down, whatever it is. And so it really gives you kind of like moving forward with that learning instead of just, here's a verb, the end, right? And so it has your kids be able to put that and use it, whether you're just discussing something or whether you're writing something. I love it. Just like everything else, there is going to be copy work. There's going to be a small blurb from the book. There's going to be a Bible verse. And then there's always going to be some type of little Bible lesson to tie that verse into whatever it was that you were reading. There's going to be some fun in every lesson. So this is some type of hands-on activity that you're going to be doing that'll tie into the book. Love it. These are always so much fun. These are my kids' probably favorite part of the whole thing. Next, you're going to have your rabbit trails in your library list. So inside of this are extra picture books. You might be saying, this is a novel study though. Yes, but at Rabbit Trails, we're always going to tie in picture books no matter what. And so we found some very age-appropriate picture books. There's always some type of movie, usually found on YouTube, that they can learn even more about, whether it is about the language arts, whether it is about some type of theme you're going to find in there. It's really, really cool. My favorite part of the novel studies is the books are about so many different topics that tie into that chapter that you just read. It's really, really cool, and it'll give you a little blurb for how it ties into that as well. So just like any of our other rabbit trails, these are just suggestions. Don't worry about buying all of these. If you can find them at your library, or if you can find them on YouTube as a read aloud, absolutely do that. And don't feel like you have to read all 5 of the books that are suggested inside of the curriculum also. They're just suggestions. Find something, like if your child is like, yes, I'm interested in that, go ahead and read a couple of them. If they want all of them, then you have all of them. If they only want one, you only need to read one. It's just things that will bring even more value to this novel study. And last but not least, you have the More Ideas page. So something I really love about this, a couple of our sciences have this, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe also has this, is our first More Ideas is always going to be apologetics inside of this curriculum. And that was so important to me with this being Harry Potter, because yes, it's about witchcraft, and yes, it's about wizards and magic and all that kind of stuff. But there is so much about good versus evil in this book. And so it's amazing how you're able to pull all of that and have these really, really cool teachable lessons in apologetics and why we believe what we believe. And so that is going to be pulled out in the first part of the More Ideas. There is poetry in here. There is geography. There's writing. There's a lot of times ways to do a research report of some sort. There's art studies. There's so many different things inside of this to bring all of that extra value to this novel study. So you're going to find that in every single lesson, and it's always going to be a little bit different of what's in there, minus that apologetics. It's going to be in every single More Ideas. So that is what it looks like inside of each lesson. So they're all going to be laid out that same way. And we have our companion journal to go with this as well. So if you want to purchase, you can do all of the work. So all that copy work, any writing assignment, all of that can be done just in a regular notebook you can get from Walmart or wherever, or you can get the companion journal to go with the novel study as well. And then all of that will go right into this companion journal. So it's going to have the same titles, so you know exactly where everything goes. There are pages for the lesson, and I'm actually going to show you lesson 2 as well once we flip over to it, because some pages are just blank bullet pages like this, because you're just going to list things or write something, stuff like that. And once I get to the second lesson, I'll show you that. But there's copy work, and so you can put all your copy work straight in here. Same with the Bible copy work. There's a page for that. There's also a page for the suggested video that's in the Rabbit Trails section, so they can write down any little ideas they've got from it, any notes they want to take for that. I've been really surprised. My 11-year-old has actually utilized this page way more than I thought that he would. There's a page to write down anything from those other Rabbit Trails books that you read if they want to put any notes there. Here's what's included again in every single lesson that I love is a really great apologetics page. So anything that you need here that you can take the reference from the text and the reference from the scripture and write it down. And so this really brings so much value to that apologetics part. And then of course, any type of reflection and application, there's room for that down there as well. And then there's always going to be pages for more ideas. So since this is for research, it just has those bullet points so that you can do research there, write your own biography for this one. So this is just a short writing assignment they can do. And of course, if they want to do a more extravagant writing project, they can certainly put their notes here. If they're going to put something like on a poster board or something, this is a great starting space for them to jot down their notes. And then that is all for that lesson. But like I said, I wanted to show you this other lesson page because this one asks for you to make a flow chart. Guess what? We have that ready for you. And so that is kind of like the extra value that this brings as well with that apologetics page, with these flow charts. If there's ever a map that's needed, you're gonna find a map inside of here, that kind of thing. It's all in this companion journal for you. So you don't have to be like, well, I wonder what they mean by a flow chart. This is what we mean, right? It's right here for you to see. And so I love that we've been able to add that to our curriculum now and to have the companion journals, because we just started these this summer. When we released all of our summer curriculum, we released by subject all of our companion journals, and it has just been a wonderful resource. Speaking of resource, this is also our first curriculum to have a resource page. Dun, dun, dun. So on our resource pages, we have a QR code to go to all the YouTube videos that are listed inside the curriculum. So you don't have to try to search for them. If there is a broken link and someone lets us know, hey, this video is not working, we can very easily swap it out on the QR code without having to worry about completely doing a whole edit of the curriculum, putting it back up on the website and all of that. So this has been really awesome. It also has the websites to our Amazon storefront. So to get either of those Harry Potter books, if you're wanting just to grab them from Amazon, this link will take you directly to it. And of course, it costs you no extra to do that, but it actually helps us tremendously. That like just getting the Amazon affiliate income helps pay for my website and all that kind of stuff. So it's really, really awesome. It costs you $0, and it's a way to kick back and help Rabbit Trails, which is really cool. And then if there's any kits or any other websites, those are all listed here as well. So that's really awesome. So that is inside the actual novel study, not inside the companion journal. So that's in here for you guys. So that is that. I hope that you are absolutely blown away and super blessed by this amazing novel study, the amazing illustrated book if you decide to get it, the companion journal and all of that, and that it brings so much value to your homeschool. I hope that you guys just have a wonderful time working through it together. And let me know how you like it in the comments after you have used it. I would love to hear from you. All right, guys, I'll see you next time.